Hello there, Gemini. This is Joy with Joy the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. We're glad to have you here. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to click that subscribe button, ring the bell. They'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy the World, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, like, and share. And I want to give a shout out to all those who've been giving donations into the channel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So Gemini, taking a peek here into the little bit that's out and where we're going to go from here, is you were saying, I want love and money. Why can't I have them both? And we have two poles going on here, kind of like the two pillars in your symbol, right? The two sides of humanity. And then there's that dark space in between. There's a rift in between. And I would say that rift is the word can't. Something somewhere inside of you is opposition to the reward, opposition to having something that comes naturally, that is reciprocated, that is relational, that is comfortable, that is loving and divine. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's go ahead and start in the center, since we kind of know some of what's going on the outside. In the center, we have breakthrough. Breakthrough, shift, 180 degrees, extraordinary opportunity of lifetime, and radical trust required. Okay. The crowning card for this is number 12, Hex. It says, be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. This is more the mind game of like Chiron the healer. He was put in a state to where he could heal everybody else but not himself. So this 180 isn't necessarily up and down a pole like that. It's from looking out to now looking in. Looking in, we see that on the inside, these are the sexual magic tarot, so I can't show the cards because they're explicit, but they also get down to the naked truth. And to me, the Ace of Swords, which is what's here in the center, has to do with reward. Reward coming in, choosing reward, following that path, starting out knowing that it's going to bring to you what you desire. But you're starting from the place of a broken heart, a wounded heart. There's manipulation and magic in here, that type of a thing. Maybe you're played by other people's words. Maybe you play other people with your words. And haven't gotten to a place of stability, and you're telling me solidity, of uniformity, and that means coming together like this, you know, like the zipper, knowing where the pieces, they're established, where they fit, and so that they come together to create form and function. But it's always been work for you here, and this is in the love facet, because love is in both. Financial prosperity and reward comes from, it can come from doing what you're good at, but it should also align with what you enjoy, so that you're not having to sacrifice pleasure, enjoyment, ease and flow in order to go earn money. That's almost like the two poles going on. So how do we merge them? How do we bring it together? And you're showing me the answer is in the heart. Here, there's apparently some bondage going on. There's almost like a wrestling match, like a what's it called? Arm wrestling, like somebody trying to manhandle and overpower you. So let's get a little information on the Ace of Swords here for you guys. Okay, which one are you? Okay, 2. Let's see, the one that was about breaking its back to try and get to you and to not get to you. So what we're really dealing with at the heart of the matter is reconciliation and regeneration. Taking a big look here. Taking time to heal yourself from past wounds. It doesn't, that's what you're saying, it doesn't matter whether it was done to you or whether you did it to yourself or whether you did it to another. That's not the type of information that's coming in here. It's simply indicating first and foremost that the work simply needs to be done. That shift, that turning point of coming back home, coming back to yourself. It's like you walked away from who you truly are, and therefore you've been exposed to a myriad of experiences that don't seem to line up. They're not making sense. It's a whole bunch of variables, and you forgot that you are the constant. You are the point from which all things radiate and emanate. So getting back to your solarness, back to your sun, wherever the sun is in your chart. I don't know what brought you here, why Gemini. You tuned into this Gemini video, but look where your sun is, okay? So the card that came in with it is sitting on top of the world, aligning with yourself. That is making my nose itch like crazy, because you have worth and value issues. So you're magnetic and attractive. People were drawn to you, situations drawn to you, favor, fortune, that type of thing drawn to you. And you're showing the wrist, turning away. That's to rebel or resist. In sign language, you were like refusing it, turning away from it. But you didn't realize in refusing that energy, you were refusing yourself. So you walked away from your authentic true self, that part of yourself. Each zodiac sign, each facet of the zodiac brings a strength and a quality to it, a natural essence, a natural flow. And we've been through this time frame. I can't speak for elsewhere because I grew up in America, but here it's that things have to be hard fought, hard won, that relationships are these hard bound commitments, these sacrifices, these things gained through tenacity and extreme determination. But you came in to where you're just skipping along, doing your little thing, going along your merry way, and this draws to you, that draws to you. Groups of people are getting, oh my God, they're so cute, where you were selected and elected to do things that you didn't see even in yourself, because you've spent a lot of life through that curious eye of looking outward of, why is this going on? What is this about? And thinking the answer lay in that person, that opportunity, that event. And you've been examining those things, and that's why you're talking about the myriad, the all those variables. But you forgot that you were the constant. You were the one thing that it all hones and hubs into and draws into. That it has to do with who you are. You're showing me the back of this card, like that. Into the navel, into the source, into your emanation. Okay? Let's get a couple of new tarot to further us from getting into that space of accepting that that's one of the values of who you are. That's one of the benefits of who you are in radiating in your sunshine. You're not disenfranchising anybody else or taking opportunities, stealing candy from babies, that sort of thing. Is simply stretching and growing to know yourself, to fill out your form, to flesh out your you-ness of who you are, your uniqueness that, as you can see from your experience, you feel like you've had to work for it, like you've been missing something and it's been hard. That is the trick, the lie, the dispossession. It's what gets you to lock yourself out of your own house. Meanwhile, those cavorting, mischievous energies, those things that have ill intent, are running amok in your house, in your home, in your dwelling place, in your body. And so it's like you stepped off of your own throne, and now another energy is sitting on it. So let's look how you get that back. How does Gemini restore, return, reconciliate with themselves? Maybe it's just wanting to come one at a time. Okay, let's start here. So we have the 4 discs. Lift up your eyes. You fail to see your own value is what I'm witnessing going on here. You have a strength and a security that is unmatched. Okay, and it is a source of life for you. You could see it kind of as arrogance, sarcasm, quick-witted, those type of things, dry humor, that type of stuff. So you've been viewing them as negative aspects, but they're actually trees of life. They're sparks of joy. So if they bring you happiness, don't have any concern about what it does for the rest of the world. Okay? I know it could seem strange, almost like, it's at the expense of another. These are kind of what you're saying here is like, how can it be? Those are unlovely qualities. Those are things that are not revered, that type of thing. But this is an examination of your heart, going through that central point. But it's you lifting your head to know where you're coming from and how it brings you lightness, how it brings you brightness, how it brings you joy, how it is, you're talking about your North Star. So if you look up your chart on a free natal birth chart, find one that gives you the IC. That is being shown here in this card. Take a look at what sign that is, what zodiac sign it's in, and maybe check out one of those videos and you'll get more clarity on this personification of yourself, on this facet of your personality. Because to me, the IC is often the inverse of our sun, the hidden point, the place that we know the least about, but we know plenty about. It's obscure, it's deep, it's hidden. It's been relegated to the back of the closet, back of the shelf, underneath the cabinet, that type of a thing. But you're asking for it to be elevated and brought forward here. You're asking your eyes to be lifted off the you're saying the trudgery. Trudging and drudgery, that's funny. The trudgery of life's path. It gets dull and boring for you quick. It gets old quickly. So take a dive into there for me, Gemini, okay, and see what your IC is. Those are initials. Okay, it's Imumcoli, IMUMCOLI, but it's opposite of our midheaven. So let's go on over here and take a look at your rest and rejuvenation card. So on either side here in your love and money, number 19, this is coming in about your cash flow, your prosperity, your gold, even more than that. It's your satisfaction, okay? So it's having a lot to do with your purpose. There's, okay, so there's wisdom from meditation. This is talking to you about meditation here. This isn't for everybody. Often it's a mindset, but it's a quieting of the mind and the body in order to receive. There are spirit guides that are surrounding you that you have not been taking note of, and they're wanting to bind your wound and heal you, because it's almost like you had broken ribs around your heart. It was more than just a stab. It was a jab also, and you took it pretty hard. It broke several of your ribs. It almost incapacitated the use of that arm altogether, but it's showing it to me in your hand and your feet, like your whole left side, your potential. Okay, so they're coming in to bind you up. This is the kind of binding you do want. They're coming in to energetically bind you, to begin to bring in the support and the nurturance that you need to restore your belief in happily ever after, in good things coming your way, and that life's this smiling and shining its favor upon you, that type of a thing. But they specifically need you to still your body and your mind together. Okay, and they'll begin to not only take care of those energetic things, but they're also going to bestow ideas, plans of action to you as well. So it could be that you meditate on your coming day, taking that time to not just see what it is you want to execute and what it is you want to accomplish, but take time first to receive what it is that life is offering you for the coming day, what it is the gods speak, that type of thing of what is coming in, coming your way, so that even if it doesn't come completely in words, a lot of it will, but there are also these they're calling it humming points, these points that just kind of, well, like a, what was that Luke Skywalker drove? A hovercraft. It hovers, it's humming, waiting until activation comes along throughout your day. It's little surprises and those type of things. Divine orchestrations, okay? So underneath it is the Sexual Magic Tarot deck, and it's the Nine of Pentacles. It's showing me here that you feel removed from your own pleasure. There is a need to connect. Like, a lot of people may envy you and look up to you and draw off of you for energy, for leadership, for guidance, for kind of parental type support, no matter how young or how old you are, for the benefits of who you are. but you're not even benefiting yourself, is what you're showing me here. You just have scraps and bits. You're not even aware that all that glory is yours. And so you're giving it all out before you even take your own bite. And you feel like that kind of has to be done under the table, on the down low, or if at all, okay? So again, it's coming back to the heart. It's coming to the sacral chakra. It's coming to knowing your worth, your value, and what all you do have, what all you do contain. Because to me, the sacral chakra is very much like our treasury. It's where we invest our gold. It's where we turn a profit, in a sense. And since this is kind of your money side, you're showing me money and relationship in this side. So I have a feeling you're going to do it on the other as well. They're wanting you to be whole and complete, lacking in nothing. But it's this feeling vulnerable, an issue with feeling vulnerable, a feeling exposed, a feeling known. It may have been some chiding and some poking of other people, that when you felt a little too good about yourself, or you began to enjoy your own money or have nice things, that it drew negative attention. So what I've learned about that energetically is if we downplay or overplay who we are, that draws negative attention. It's not the energy of it in and of itself. Like somebody who's naturally very attractive, and they get all the manicurings and buffings and cuttings and dyings and zhuzhing, all that kind of stuff, but that's who they are. Maybe they have a lot of Taurus, right? That's a lot of who they are, and they fully step into it and they embrace it. Remember this time of sitting with what does life want to bring into you, as well as how do you see it going, the merging of that energy, and it's in the balance, it's in the harmony of it. It's only going to radiate out, and other people are going to be in awe and wonder of it, but also begin to be awakened as well, and to begin to vibrate in their own beauty, their own truth, their own solar shine, their solar chakra, their radiance. So it's that you're downplaying. Yeah, you're rarely overplaying. If you do, it's like in competition. You know, maybe by yourself, maybe video games, or how fast you can get something done, or being able to memorize certain things like that. But remember, it's been more hidden. It's been that I see, right? So here it's wanting to get to a state where you feel, shall I say, equal to others, that you feel worthy of a relationship, worthy of relationship. Relationship is a full-on connection, seeing others face to face, eye to eye, being able to engage, to connect, but also to judge, not judging, judgment, having a clear head, a clear mind. You know, justice ushers in this judgment, this clarity of perspective of that 180 that we have with the breakthrough, right? Of understanding from the inside and the outside, hindsight and foresight, the 2020, okay? So let's go ahead from there, and we're going to jump on to number 22, the yin-yang going on. There's a weird pull of energy in the air. It's almost like you guys aren't walking through air, which is your sign. It's like you're walking through taffy, ribbons of taffy all over the place, and that is difficult. It's very straining on who you are. So this is 22 that we have here. It's synergizing your glory, is what you're wanting to talk about. For number one, you're a master with words, not just because you are Gemini. You, the person who is tuning in here, you have an eloquence, and that don't let it stimulate those brain cells of what you think that means. It means that is one place where you do feel certain that the flow, that when it's uninterrupted and you just go with it, it even pleases your own ear. It even like excites you, but in a satisfying type of way. It's something that allows you to settle into who you are, and just like a driver, feeling the rhythm of the road, right? The rubber hitting the road, getting your groove back. Okay, so there's something to do with words there. Interesting. Because this is the love side. So even though, remember, you were telling me you were having both, kind of like this and like that. They're complements to one another, and therefore they're completing each other. So maybe you like to write about love. Maybe it's poetry. Maybe it has to do with songs and that type of thing. But it's definitely coming in on the love, the flow, the romanticism, creating cards, maybe creating artwork, something from your passion, something that drives you in a way to express yourself in order to let that object, that formation be the point of communicating and connecting with other human beings, okay? So underneath it, we have the Five of Wands. Still on the outside looking in. I see you've got water in your cup, checking on your image. You got the old and the new mixed together is what's going on here. So it's kind of like the layers of life as we're building through math. You know, that you learn new numbers, you learn addition, you learn subtraction, you learn multiplication, you learn division, you evolve into algebra, you use it in chemistry, physics, that sort of thing. Well, it's not like you have to go back and start counting on your fingers again. And if you do, that's no big deal. But you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, like that. You haven't lost your place, your rhythm. There's layers of time, that understanding going through. But it's as if you second guess and you doubt yourself here. Because you're weaving back and forth. You have this beautiful new expression, this very mature facet of yourself. It's attractive. And that makes you a little nervous. So you throw in a little bramble with it, a little juxtaposition with it, like a little downplay. Okay, so you're showing me where that sarcasm was coming from. It is a protection mechanism to downplay your fabulousness, to downplay being seen and being known because you're not too comfortable with the information yourself, that so much is expected of you in the mindset, right, is how it seems to come across, that being judged, letting others down, letting yourself down is almost too much to bear, because you're not just having your own opinion, your own expression, being someone that all these opportunities and fortune and fame and all these things are smiling on you, being drawn to you, looking at you, wanting to merge with you. It's that you'd almost rather not have it at all than to experience what the heartbreak of that could feel like. Because you're like, if it turns up any and it amplifies any more than what it is, and then I get hurt, that's going to take me out. That's going to do me in. And you're wondering what to do about that. So let's get, we're going to get a magical, mystical oracle on this Five of Wands of what to do about that. Okay, life's kind of smiling. It says number 19, the journey. Get to know yourself over and over and over again. Find out what's under there, what's buried in this I see. Oh, haha, that's funny. Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. See, I told you you're funny. That is sarcastic, but that's not this brutal sarcasm that diminishes yourself. That is your dry wit sense of humor. Oh my God, you got me. Okay, there's no hiding that. Well, so get on board, because that's a bit of what it's going to look like. That's what the Fool of Life looks like. It's the one who's open to the joy, the expression, the living, and the learning. And they're saying it won't hurt too badly. The only hurt is kind of fear lingering off the periphery, hanging off the edge of the premises, kind of going, well, you know it's going to this, or it might that, or it's such and so. But if you get moving on in this, those voices are going to fade. And you're going to begin to learn and grow quite quickly, because you have mastered these levels, these layers, these sort of things. But it's what you've got to master is how to enjoy it, how to enjoy the ride. Okay? So what do I want to see on this? I'm going to get a credit card on the journey for Gemini. Let's unveil this journey a bit about how you can get back in your body and enjoy your effort. Okay, form and structure. Okay, so they're telling me take some time out to be at home. that's kind of alone, that type of thing, and it's not the hermitizing type energy. It has to do with chilling like a villain. Like, you can go and wear yourself thin on so much of these outside sources, on things outside of yourself, that you need the time to recharge. Like your phone, think about plugging back in. If your phone is wearing out and dying while you're out, you've been gone too long. That's kind of what they're saying, is take that simple mindset, take that clarity of the mind, and kind of go, you're right. I'm asking too much of my battery, too much of what I'm made for. Like, you couldn't do it with your car. You can't press it past when it runs out of gas because it's going to crap out on the side of the road. Well, you're crapping out on the side of the road a lot. You're crapping out the parties, the events, the goings, the doings, the pursuings is what you've been doing that's been wearing you thin. That's not the journey that you're talking about here. You're talking about being selective, and you're saying being elective. Electing to be selective about what fills your composition. No more having to diminish it or demote yourself in a bit in order to not seem arrogant or like you have lofty ideals. Okay? Let's come back over to the rest and rejuvenation, and we're going to take a little peek alongside this Nine of Pentacles, that you're truly wanting that relationship, that connection of moving on to the 10, so that your shoulders can be broad, your chest can be open, your chin can be lifted, and you can feel confirmed in who you are, which is wild that you're doing it like that, because you needed to know this, to have permission to say no. Do not explain yourself when people invite and you cannot go. They don't have to understand where you're coming from. You are the final authority and the power. When you have to say no to others, even if it seems like you would be a bad person for saying no, like not helping somebody move because you're the one with the truck, or, some elderly wondering if you come over and sit for a visit because you help them not feel so lonely. Let me tell you, human being, it's okay. Because if it's good for you to say no, or you feel that inkling or that urge, unexplainable, to say no, to stay home, to tune into yourself, maybe to even go on your own private Segway for the day, that type of a thing, you don't have to explain yourself. Because when you do, you're exposing yourself to this battle of the Ace of Swords, of why you should take your person, your rewards, and offer it out to everybody else at the expense of your own health. Because this is much deeper than what it seems. It's not just a mindset. It damages your mental health, not just in the decision-making process. I'm talking about your brain health, the state of your mind and your body. It can only handle stretching and extending so much until it begins to blow up the system. Like, don't put oil in your car and watch what happens. You're gonna screw everything up, and you've been running dry, Gemini. So do not explain. After 2 or 3 times, if the answer is no, I'm not able to. Come on, kid. We love it when you're there. All those type of things that's going to begin to spill out. Just say, hey, thanks for calling. Talk to you later, and click. Okay? And this isn't something to practice right now. This is a source of mastery for you throughout your lifetime. You're letting me know part of that dark chasm where you lose yourself, where you lose your reward, where that dark spot, that dark blot, that depression, that oppression, that exhaustion, that those sicknesses, the loneliness, the dark blot is what you keep talking about. This is where it's coming from. You've walked us through like an ambient type process. I was going, where are we going and what is this all about? Well, it's that it was tucked away in all these little shelves and drawers. These clues, these hints to yourself is really at the core. Make sure your life is focused on you. That's when you are your best. And when you're your best, it's good for everybody. That's when you can truly afford quality to those around you. But it's going to make you kind of trim what all you're involved in and who all is in your friend circle, your family circle. What are your career goals, that type of thing. Okay? And the relationships that you engage and involve yourself in. So with that, we're going to call it the 10 of Pentacles because that's what you're talking about. You're like, I do not like how far I've come. I want to go further. And the thing is to take the, to receive the glory, to, it's like in film, like we're looking at the negative. They're saying print the picture. Print the picture and that will take you to the 10. Okay? 45, new directions. Look at it. I love it. It's a puffer, a wisher. And here you've got your top hat, which is like taking a bow. It's the after show of like getting back to your private life, of course. And where everybody is attracted to the star. The fans are all like, oh, but pay attention to me. Oh, I want to bask in your sunshine, that type of thing. I know we're reiterating this, but there's a reason we have to, is to drive the point home. It doesn't matter how much you hide. You're the famous type. You're carrying it even more so than Leo, Gemini. Okay? Just to tell you here. Your sun is magnetic and attractive in this. What felt good to you at one time, it's all that clamoring, all the paparazzi type energy that can really, that cuts you off and causes you to separate yourself, to stay as the 9 of Pentacles and to keep telling yourself that that's what makes you happy. You don't necessarily trust anybody new to come in alongside you, that they won't return to this same energy as well. Can you see them? They're clamoring, they're trying to get after you, and there you are flying away on your wisher like a helicopter. You're like, get me out of here. And it can put your fire out and cause your love to grow cold. So how do we get Gemini to keep the fire warm? Fires of trust. Okay, the trust fire is burning. Let's start with that question. I'll get to the other one in a minute. Okay. And then we get the trust fires burning, and how will they know that this person is trustworthy? Okay. All right. And I think there's even one more right there. So we'll start with this. How to keep your trust fires burning is gently. So you're showing me that when you stoke a fire, because, I'll just cover part of it. This is actually you here cutting the hair. Behind you, the home fire is burning. The way you do it is gently. You can't set out for long, extended periods of time of like undermine your own responsibilities in order to go have lots of fun because you feel like you haven't had enough. Can you see the imbalance? They're saying take it in pieces and portions and make it quality time. Because part of what it's showing me is like filling up the dog feeder for 2 days and putting a big giant bowl of water and a poop pad, hoping that your dog can take care of himself for the 2 days that you need to go in to get away. Or you have that fire going, and so you want the home fires to be burning when you get home, nice and warm, ready for you. So you stick 58 logs on there. And what that is, it's either going to snuff out the one little ember you had in the beginning, or it's going to catch your whole house on fire. Can you see the difference in that mindset? So it's, instead of being the Gemini with the 2 pillars right here, you've almost stretched it way out here. Too large of a scope and a span that if your eyes had to see out here, you would be a horse, you would be a sheep, you would be a cow, you would be a goat. Okay? And that's because they're needing to protect themselves from predators. They have to be able to take in that viewpoint in order to guard their own life. So you're putting your life in danger living that way, spreading your health so thin, spreading your energy so thin. So what they're saying is handle it gently with a gentle mindset of, yeah, I can come by and shoot ball with you for a few hours. Setting the timer, letting the timer, your watch, be the bad guy. Setting the limits on yourself so that when it goes off, that you say, oh, gotta go. And not, what are you going to go do? No, gotta go, catch up with you later. You go home and you chill. Put your feet up, put your cozies on, and have a good dinner. Get to bed early, wake up the next day and be a boss again. Okay? So that's how you keep the trust fires burning, is you're letting me know the rituals of your daily life for yourself is what gets your mind seedy, weedy, and thin to where you don't know what's right or wrong for yourself. You can't see clearly through as to whether to trust others or when to trust yourself. Okay, so it's got you out of balance. And then when we ask how will you know that this person entering in for this relationship, this going to the Ten of Pentacles is of benefit, this card says which way is up. So it starts like this. You see it, which way is up, but it landed like this. You'll know because they'll be upstanding. You'll know because you look up to them. You'll know because they do get together, and when their timer, their alarm goes off, they're like, I gotta go, I've had such a good time. And you can tell their energy's still bubbling and still going, and that they really are sad that they have to go. But they're sticking to their standards, staying to their commitment, which makes sense because this Ace of Swords that came in really was talking about that reward comes from holding fast to your standards. Not this demanding and binding and bondage type energy of like dominance of self, but gently. That gently of like allowing the energies to kind of tether themselves loose is like, oh, I've got to go. I've had such a good time. And not spending hours on the phone with them later either. Just keeping it short and sweet, keeping it simple and to the point, giving yourself room to breathe. And life has said, giving life room to breathe. Okay? And that'll keep, that'll keep the raindrops from falling on your head. And this is more than tears. I'm telling you, this is sweat here. The stress, the pressure, okay? Yeah, definitely. It's itching like crazy. And that will bring in a healthy new life for you. Everything above the surface, the fruits in the garden, the stars, the dreams, feeling shiny, feeling positive, feeling bright, no longer feeling this like static electricity going on, feeling this like heat and the prickles going on, the pounding of the head, like foggy, fuzzy, burny type feeling. I can feel it around your head and up around your collar and your neck. A lot of that electricity going on that really makes a strong impact on the heart. And that's why you were talking about so many cards here having the green, is it's coming from the heart, trusting your heart, making good decisions for yourself instead of thinking that you're harming or hurting others by you benefiting, by you having a lovely life, by you having margins and boundaries and values and morals for yourself, of the code of how you live, of how you operate, of how you flourish. It's about you flourishing, Gemini. So hopefully that blows out that darkness. It brings it from way out here. It brings your poles, your pillars back into here. Suitable for you and a few others. Suitable for yourself and your provision as well as your protection, your peace, right? Interesting journey, Gemini. I am definitely expanded and shocked with curiosity of all these particles that you stimulate through this energy exchange. I hope it's percolated you as well. I wish you health. I wish you happiness. I wish you the strength and the courage to make the decisions that are best for you, and to not let others guilt you, much less you guilt yourself about saying no, about defining your margins and bringing them in to what facilitates health, life, and stability for you. No more that mental anxiety, okay? I love you guys. We'll talk soon.